Back. We are, as you probably know, less than 24 hours now from top kill. That's the idea of trying to somehow finally plug that situation that we've been following in the Gulf of Mexico, which is turning into an environmental catastrophe, according to many of the experts that we have interviewed. One of the things we want to do is continue to see this picture. You see this right here? For those of you joining us now, that is a live streaming video of what it looks like 5,000 feet below the surface of the Gulf of Mexico. That's the leak as it continues now on its 36th or 37th day. I don't know. Chad, do you know? 36, I think, yeah. Tomorrow's 37. Okay. So as we look at this, I want you to know that there's a new controversy that has erupted, and it is this. Should we tomorrow, when BP starts this operation, which could last as long as 10 hours to get that giant apparatus in place, should you, as an American, be able to see it as it happens? Should you be able to continue to watch that streaming video? There is the suggestion, the intimation today that BP is going to cut that video while they're doing this operation. That they're just going to take it off, black screen, you're not going to be able to see it. We understand Ed Markey from Massachusetts. It's pressuring them to try and get them to continue it, to not stop it. We just learned the White House is doing the same. And the guy who's been leading the charge from the very beginning on this is Florida's own Senator Bill Nelson. And he's joining us now by phone to bring us up to date on what's going on. Senator Nelson, thanks for being with us, sir.
Hey, Rick. Good afternoon.
What have you learned? What do you know? What can you tell us?
Well, we understand that BP is saying that they are reconsidering going dark, and we certainly hope so. They said they want to be accountable, they want to be responsible, and we certainly want them to be transparent, and there has been a lot of question about whether or not they have been transparent in the past 5 weeks. And so if they pulled the plug on this video during this operation, which we are prayerfully hopeful that they are going to be successful. But if they pull the plug, then again, it works against them on the transparency and accountability, and we simply have got to demand that they do more.
Well, we can't, but, well, I was about to say, maybe you can. You're a U.S. Senator, but, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, they're a corporation in a country where free trade exists, and really, you know, they can do whatever they want to do. I'm not sure, really, constitutionally speaking here, and I'm not a lawyer, that neither you nor Ed Markey nor Barack Obama can really tell them what to do. I suppose the best you can do is try and convince them or ask them to. Am I wrong?
This is not a constitutional matter. This is a matter of whether or not they're going to have any credibility left, Rick. And if they were to pull the plug and then this thing not work tomorrow, you can imagine they may as well pack up and go home. And, of course, Lord knows they can't do that because they're the ones that seem to have the technology to get this thing stopped. But if it doesn't work tomorrow, then we're looking at this thing continuing to gush until August, and you know what kind of damage that will do. It'll cover up the Gulf. Yeah, and my home state. Do you know if definitively they have come out and said that they're going to cut the signal, or is there, because it seems to me from our reporting and from our sources that they're perhaps suggesting they might do it, but they have not definitively said that they're going to do it. Where are they? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. The most recent message is that they are considering what they're going to do. That shouldn't be a question. As much as they have been damaged in the eyes of the world, and look at it this, you know how they drug their feet, that they never wanted to give us the video live in the first place? Well, we see why. Because once we saw it, we knew that there's a lot more oil gushing into the Gulf than what they were saying when they were minimizing it.
Senator, I got one more question for you, and this one has to do with what is starting to look and certainly being suggested as being an institutional problem. Not just a problem of this leak, but moving forward. I mean, I've written myself a series of questions that I have seen asked by myself and others, like, why is this industry allowed to drill so deep? Where was the regulation to check them? Where were the safeguards? Where were the controls? why does it seem like, as in this case, they're allowed to call their own shots on something that ends up affecting all of us? So my question to you is, moving forward, have we realized as a result of this example, have you realized as a U.S. Senator that the way we've dealt with these types of industries may be an institutional problem that we are going to need to fix with the help of people like you?
Absolutely. Your questions are all extremely legitimate and timely, but Rick, I was asking these questions back in 2006 to 2008. And we know with the Inspector General's report that was just released this morning, we know that it was sex and drugs and trips and gifts and all of that going on in this Minerals Management Service, which is the regulator of big oil drilling deep. And we see the result of the lack of that regulation today, and we're paying the consequence.
You're talking about the Mineral Management Agency, a part of the Interior Department, which has had to face and deal with those allegations that you just mentioned. Senator, always good to talk to you, sir. Thanks for hustling and getting on the phone and getting that information to us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick.
All right.
See ya.
Senator Bill Nelson from the Sunshine State, from the state of Florida. Chad's joining me now. Chad, do me a favor. We were talking about scope, and scope is important to this story because a lot of people are asking me and asking you, well, you guys keep showing us these pictures of a little oil here and a pelican over there and a turtle over there. How big is this thing? What's the scope of it? Can you get us to understand that?
I'm going to take you to Monroe County, Florida.
All right.
I know it very well. I know you know it.
That's Key West.
I know you very well.
Florida Keys.
To me, it's Marathon, but you know, I do get down to Key West, but I get down to Marathon a lot more. Here's your oil slick that was taken by the satellite today. You see the sheen on the water. Here's the end of the Mississippi Delta. There's the Mississippi River right there. New Orleans is still here. Can't see it as well because it's a little bit browner and it's older oil, but that oil is also over here, and this would be Grand Isle. So now I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to take what Google Earth did today, and they said, okay, you can take this and put it over any location you want to, and you can show your viewers where it goes. There are the dry Tortugas. That's what, a 60-mile boat ride. Here's from Bahia Honda all the way over to Vaca Key, which would be Marathon, right on up into Plantation and into Biscayne Bay. Now, this is not where the water is. If we would take this oil and plop it on top, this is how much of an area it would cover. This would be the kill zone. This isn't the sheen, this is the kill zone. All of Florida Bay, all the way back through Cudjoe Key and through Key West as well, and then out into the reef. Now, luckily, Rick, it's not here yet. It isn't into the reef. And if, you know, I think why BP doesn't want us to see the video of this happening when it's possibly going to make matters worse if it goes wrong.
That's big, though. What you're showing us, that's the first time I've been able to see an overlay of the spill over a place that I know. And you could do this for Schenectady. You could do this for Los Angeles County. You could do this in Cleveland or Pittsburgh.
It's online. We did it. We plopped it right over the big island of Hawaii. We plopped it over all of Seattle, and it covered all the Puget Sound. We had it over Cleveland earlier, almost filling up most of Lake Erie. That's how big the kill zone is, not just the sheen zone. Things are dead in here because there's so much oil in this much area.
We'll try and see if we can put that on my blog as well, because I know people like to go to the blog after a while to see what's going on.
Yeah, it's a good link. It's easy.
To see our twit vids as well, and we'll see if we can get you that there. Dave Johnson, if you're hearing me on that, let's see if we can put that up there so people can put it wherever they live, as a matter of fact. And you know what else, speaking of twit vids that I love to do, I want to know what your information is. You know, I'm following Twitter, and I know you guys have a lot to say between now and tomorrow morning when they start this top kill. Let me know where you are as an American on what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico right now, and my conversation that I just had with a very inspired Senator Bill Nelson. Did you see what he seemed to be showing there? We'll take you through that.